Hello everyone. Now I am going to speak on making a CLIL lesson plan, and I will introduce some tips for planning a lesson in CLIL, and I will illustrate it with example. So the main objectives of my presentation is to point out the tips of making plans for a CLIL lesson and to demonstrate a solution for challenges that students meet in CLIL, and to assist students to produce better plan for their CLIL lesson. The further, I would like to show you example of making CLIL lesson plan. It is applying CLIL to geography lesson. The content subject is geography, topic about rivers. So you can find this lesson plan by the given links. I would like to make an analysis according to this lesson plan about the geography. The first part is content. It covers all of them, that what teacher wants to introduce and what is the main purpose of this lesson. Second is the learning outcomes. It means that what students will be achieved by participating in this lesson. Next part is activating prior knowledge. It means that it is helpful to start a lesson by finding out what learners already know about the geography topic. As we know, learners may know many facts about a topic in their mother tongue, but may have difficulty explaining this knowledge in a second or third language. When brainstorming ideas about a new topic, expect learners to use some mother tongue and then translate. Next part is input. Teachers need to plan the input. It includes the information that is being presented in the class. Will it be delivered orally or in writing, on paper, electronically, or is it for whole class work, group or pair work? Will it include practical demonstrations? All of them are included in this part. Next is the output. It is teachers also need to plan for learner output. How are learners going to produce and communicate the content and language of the lesson? Will it be communicated orally, in writing, or by using practical skills? What will success for the learners look like? It is also includes this part. Next part is called collaborative work task. This part includes tasks that involve learners in producing case subject specific vocabulary and the structures in meaningful pair or group work activities. Activities should support processing of new geography content and language. Next is a cognitive challenge. As we know, learners usually need considerable support to develop their thinking skills in a non-native language. That's why teachers need to ask questions which encourage lower order thinking skills. For example, what, when, where, which questions. And they also need to ask questions which demand higher order thinking skills. This involves why and how questions, and therefore requires the use of more complex language. In CLIL contexts, learners often have to answer higher order thinking questions at an early stage of learning curricular content. So next is the anticipating problem. As we know, in a CLIL lesson, every teacher faces several problems. So, first of all, let's consider subject teachers. They face a low level of English language because their low level of English language, it means that subject teachers not feel confident about the English language level, especially if they have not used English for some time. And the second is difference of pronunciation. It means that subject-specific vocabulary may look similar to other words in English but have different pronunciation. And the third one is not to be able to use appropriate classroom language. It is not be able to use appropriate classroom language to present new concepts, to question, paraphrase, clarify, encourage, and manage their classes in English. And the next one is language teachers. They face problems such as lack of knowledge and skills about the subject. It means that they may decide to teach subjects in CLIL or maybe ask to. They sometimes not feel confident about their knowledge and skills related to the subject they are going to teach. And they are not be able to answer unexpected questions because of lack of information, because of lack of materials. Yeah. Next one is not have rich vocabulary of specific subject. It is insufficient of vocabulary. So, how can CLIL teachers overcome these challenges they faced? What can teachers do? So let's consider some tips. Subject teachers use online dictionaries with an audio function to hear the pronunciation of geography vocabulary in order to pronounce the words correctly. Yeah. Second one is a use grammar reference book in order to practice producing questions and to collect more information about this subject. Next one is language teachers use online sources or subject-related books in English or their mother tongue. And they read about the geography and the environment, the concepts learners will need to understand. And they should highlight the subject-specific vocabulary learners need to understand and communicate and present new words in topic-related word banks. And they should practice delivery of geography materials, prepare questions which connected with low and high order thinking skills. So, to conclude, there are more components in CLIL lesson plan than in subject or a language plan. And there are several rules that both subject teacher and language teacher should follow. Furthermore, geography teachers, according to my example, geography teachers in CLIL programs have to know the specific academic language that learners need in order to question and explain, to analyze, evaluate evidence, to make conclusions and justify them. Language teachers have to present the language of geography and help learners notice key grammatical patterns as well as key content of vocabulary. In this way, learners can effectively communicate their knowledge of geographical concepts. Here's some reference for my presentation. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.